Hey, Dr. Tom Preston here, and I'm thrilled that you've chosen to join me. I am the founder and principal coach at Full Circle Coaching and Consulting, and as of this video, we've been doing this for over 27 years. Today, this video, I'm going to be talking to you about performance reviews, why you want to do them with your team, and what you're going to do. Now, if you're someone that's enjoying these videos, I definitely highly recommend that you subscribe to this channel so that you get those new videos. We do one a week. It's best practices. It's content just like this that's going to help you design and manifest the life of your dreams. You know our tagline. We help you become more so you can do more and have more of what your heart desires. Okay? So without too much further ado, let's get into this discussion. I'm going to show you a template that we devised here at Full Circle that our clients have access to, which basically is a series of tabs across this. And what you're going to get your team members to do is you're going to get them to go and work through this appraisal sheet. It's a review form, okay? And what they're going to do is they're going to score themselves from 1 to 4, obviously 4 being superior and 1 being poor and everything in between, on relative to these things. So relative to their attitude, relative to their accuracy. So let's just say they thought it was a 3 there, and their accuracy this quarter was actually not the best, it was 2, but they were quite alert. And they just fill in numbers. If they have anything to say about it, they fill it in there. What's nice about this form is it actually will put an overall evaluation at the bottom once all of the things are filled in. Pretty straightforward. Then they're going to go in and they're going to fill out this piece, their team members' feedback. And again, a series of questions to ask. Questions like my current core values, right? Behind each value, put a percentage from 0 to 100 relative to how well your current role supports your core values. Let's face it, gang. If it doesn't support their core values, they're not going to stay with the job long. They're not going to love it. They're not going to perform at their peak. So it must definitely match their values, right? Other series of questions in this form. How could your director or the company at large support your core values more fully if there is something there? Aspects of my role that are working and I'm enjoying doing, and so on down this incredible sheet, okay? Now, this is one I want to definitely give some credit to Dan Sullivan at Strategic Coach for sharing this with me. It's a hero-villain thing, which is, how can I be your hero? Is it when I give you direct feedback? Is it when I, appraise your things that you're doing? How is it that I can be your hero? And what is it that drives you crazy that I do or don't do or could do, right? It's a great way to know how to be a hero or a villain. What would also be over here, I'm just showing you a template. Let's be clear, this is our team member template. What would be over here is another tab, which would be the OA tab, the Outcomes Assessment tab. In this tab, the team member would fill out their different outcomes for their role would be there. And they would rate themselves up to 100% on how well they are crushing, manifesting that particular outcome of the series of whatever numbers of outcomes there are in their role. So that's what they do first before you ever get a chance to have a look at this. We have a rhythm at Full Circle where they get this form 2 weeks in advance. They are to be done with it 1 week in advance of their scheduled performance review. And from there, then it's your turn to go in and as the doc and do what it is that you do best, okay? Which is to review them. So what I do with this, you guys, is I take the form and I hide their numbers. I don't want to have preconceived notions about what they did. I want to rate them. And again, let's be clear, when you do a performance review, you're only rating them from the last performance review. So if you're doing them on a quarterly basis, which I highly advocate for new team members up until at least the end of their first year or 2 or 3. And for some team members, I've done quarterly reviews for the entire time that they've been on the team. You may graduate them to thirdly. In other words, I'm going from every 3 months to every 4 months. But I promise you that they're worth their weight in gold doing performance reviews. So you are only reviewing their performance relative, again, using these top ones as examples, their attitude, their accuracy, alertness from 1 to 4. Then you're going to go in and you're going to read through the things that they wrote to answer these questions, and you're going to fill out your part. What is your observation or note based upon what they wrote? The idea behind a performance review among many of you guys is you want to make sure there are no molehills that are going to become mountains down the road, okay? So it's a great way to dig in, find out what is there and what isn't there. One of the things that's really important to do is to always support your people and challenge them during a performance review. Don't just be a cheerleader. You want to be challenging them as well, but support them before you challenge them, okay? And so that's where things like the acknowledgement of excellence in the role is something for you to fill out, areas that need to be addressed, and then any notes or observations. Over here, in terms of their next step, and follow-up resources and recommendations and follow-up steps. So these are things that get really clear action steps. These things get put into their folder and into their calendar of things to work on until you see them the next time at their next performance review. And of course, you want to be reviewing their hero-villain things. I'll tell you something, this can be very friggin' revealing, gang. I did one recently and I had no idea that I could push my team members' buttons by just showing up in a certain way. So it's a great thing to learn about and to understand, so that again, anything that is a potential molehill does not become a mountain. Okay, so let's get into how often are you going to do these. As I said, with new team, you want to be doing these 1 time per quarter, okay? And again, they are booked when you're done one, that you immediately book the next one right before you leave that one, so that it's in your calendar and it's in theirs. That's considered a best practice, okay? You want to ensure that these things are getting done in a timely way. So you want to send that to them, these forms, 2 weeks in advance, okay? And then they're going to tell you 1 week in advance that it's done, and that you can now have time to go in and do your part, so that you're really, really well prepared, for it. I can tell you from years of experience, gang, that this actually helps bring out the best in people. As of this recording, I have a new VA, young guy, Isaiah, just a gem of a human. And even though he's been in business for several years, no one has ever done a performance review for him. He thanked his director profusely for the review, for giving him insights into how to be better. And one of the things we do at our all team meetings is we ask people, what is it that they're lit up about their role in the company? And Isaiah says, now that I know how to be better, my next performance review, everything's going to be 5-star. That's the kind of team member I want to have, you guys, and I intend that that's one of the team members that you would want to have as well. So performance reviews, great way to affirm your team, support them, and challenge them to be the best version of self, so that you can fulfill your mission most fully. Now, if you're someone that's not fulfilling your mission to the fullest extent, reach out, for heaven's sakes, right? Down below and associated with this video will be the opportunity to book a private one-on-one, no strings attached call with me or one of my coaching staff, so that we can brainstorm with you some of the best practices around team and around performance reviews, or just literally, if that's not the thing that you're kind of stuck on right now, reach out, let's book a call, let's brainstorm it, let's help you get unstuck. The mission you have is too damn important, gang, to leave it up to chance. And you know what? We just found out that a family friend of ours is literally transitioning off the planet. We're only here for a period of time, gang. Let's make sure we're friggin' well using our time to the best of our ability, fulfill our mission and our purpose for why we're here in the first place. Dr. Tom signing off, encouraging you, imploring you, begging you to be the best you can be, do all the things you're meant to do as a result, and have all of the things that your heart absolutely desires. Thanks for watching. Look forward to seeing you again soon.